to our Saturday night broadcast of the NBA here on 2K Sports. And now the New York Knicks starters. Stoudemire and Turioff in the middle. Then there's Chauncey Billups. Then it's Anthony. Caron Butler had one of the worst seasons of his career last season, Clark.
You know, Kevin, ever since his All-Star appearance in 2009, it does seem as though he's not made as much progress, and he didn't really deliver the way they hoped he would in the playoffs. But sometimes when you're a mid-season trade acquisition, it really takes a while to get established and get comfortable.
That's a good point. Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Kevin, Mike D'Antoni and I got a chance to talk for just a bit. I asked him what word would best describe their defense, and he replied, intimidation. He thinks their length and capacity to block shots makes teams think twice about bringing the ball inside against them. That should certainly work to their advantage today, guys.
Thank you, Doris. And Clark, how often do we hear this from coaches?
A lot, Kevin. You know that. A lot of times that's all coaches want to talk about is defense. It gets you easy scoring opportunities off long misses, steals, and block shots. Can get you into transition if you defend well.
So then, Clark, how does Caron Butler get back on track?
Well, his assist and field goal percentages are what has fallen off recently, Kevin. I think it's a matter of a full training camp with the...
And slam cam for the replay.
Does he make it look easy or what, partner? Trust me, that's not easy.
Oh, I know it. I think he could climb over the backboard if he wanted to. With the Dallas Mavericks, and looking at last year, they were 22-8.
Well, unfortunately for them, Kevin, that regular season track record is not their problem. It's teams in the West that give them fits in the postseason.
That's true. The Knicks making a switch here. Rebounded by Anthony. Now the Knicks with it. Now Walker. Caron Butler covering. Here's Anthony. And it's Anthony again missing. Well, at the expense of Mav fans, dare I bring up the Miami Heat when you talk about them against the East in the finals just a few short years ago?
They don't want to hear about that, partner. I mean, that was a painful pill to swallow after being up in that series 2-zip, and looked like they had game 3 in their pocket before Dwayne Wade went berserk and then took over the whole series on the way to Miami winning that championship.
Nowitzki. It's in. That one misses for Nowitzki. Clark, when you look at Dirk Nowitzki, an absolute gunner, but 7 feet tall, he can get that shot over almost everybody.
Yeah, and the other thing is, Kevin, you have to play him so close because he's always a threat, and that gives him a big advantage. I mean, him to attack off the dribble.
Here is Billups. Guarded now by Jason Terry. Back to Billups. Here's Jeffries.
With that, they find themselves missing on 4 of their first 5 shot attempts. That's not a good start. Actually, it's a bad start for them.
Billups is tagged with the reach. That's his first foul. Here's Kidd. He started by Billups. 5 on the clock. Poked away.
Anticipated the pass before it was thrown. Nice interception.
And when you talk about Nowitzki driving in, he's got very good ball handling skills and terrific mobility for a guy that size.
Well, Kevin, I mean, his agility is surprising for a guy of that size, and even when he doesn't go for us offensively at 7 feet tall.
And the Mavericks with some changes. Haywood comes in for Chandler, and Caron Butler subbed in for Dirk Nowitzki. Oh! Looks like they've worked on that one before, Clark.
Yeah, they've done it countless times.
The Knicks last season, like most teams in the East, took their lumps playing against the Western Conference.
Yeah, and they finished 9-21 in interconference play. I mean, out west, tough for everybody, particularly the Knicks. Coach D'Antoni had certainly seen a lot of those teams when he was coaching the Suns, but seeing them and beating them, 2 different things.
Yes, they are. Let's go to our great sideline reporter, Doris Burke, for an update. Doris?
Well, guys, normally when you think of Amari Stoudemire and punishment, you think of the punishment he inflicts. But his body has paid the price for that physical style of play. And Amari became one of the trendsetters in the NBA when it came to wearing padding underneath his uniform. Stoudemire said, "You've got guys who hold, push, shove, and hit, so the undergear keeps me protected. It definitely helps." Guys, anything he can do to avoid injury, probably a good idea.
Yeah, with his hard-charging style of play, it makes sense. Thanks, Doris. He hits the second from the line. And not just one trouble spot, Clark, for the Knicks. They went 3-7 against each division.
They couldn't find anywhere to hide, Kevin. I mean, New Orleans and the Clippers were the only two teams who lost the season series to the Knicks.
Haywood kicks to Marion. It counts. Marion's got his first bucket of the night. New York trailing. Here's Douglas. And that's good on the layup. Here's Kidd. 29 seconds left in the first. Terry kicks to Haywood. Buries the short-range shot. Here's Douglas. Kidd gets the reach.
Substitution on the court.
Here's Douglas.
I got him. I got him.
Guarded by Barea with 4 seconds on the clock. The shot's good from Douglas.
That's the way to manufacture your shot against the taller defender. Solid effort.
Here's Douglas. Dirk and Marion flank Haywood in the middle. Stevenson out there with J.J. Barea. That's the lineup out there for the Mavericks.
That's exactly the way you practice it. Hit the open man for the great look.
Rick Carlisle played in the NBA for 6 seasons. He had a journeyman career.
And he transitioned right into coaching, Kevin. I think he knew that's what he wanted to do. He worked as an assistant for a few seasons, and he's been a head coach for the Pistons, Pacers, and now the Mavericks.
And it's Stoudemire with the jam.
That's really a terrific look inside. Set him up beautifully.
Here is Barea, defended by Douglas. Now Barea. Nowitzki outside. Just 5 on the clock. 3 seconds left. Here's Marion. And so here's New York. Here's Williams. A missed 3. Here are the Mavericks now. Trailing by 2. Knocks it loose. Clark, what stands out about Coach Rick Carlisle's style?
Well, he's very much a guy who wants to have a hand on the game. He controls it pretty close. He's got a degree in psychology, which I think somewhat helps him in managing his players.
Good point. Haywood against Stoudemire. Haywood gets the bucket.
I think this is where you want to operate. This is where you want to be taking shots from as an offense, in and around the paint.
Here's Douglas. And Dallas has possession. Stoudemire gets called for blocking. That'll be his second foul of the game.
I think that's going to take away from what he does. The team's going to have to pick it up on the defensive end.
Tyson Chandler, he's checked in for the Mavericks. Butler comes in for Sean Marion. Carmelo Anthony is checked in for the Knicks. Phillips comes in for Tony Douglas. Here is Barea. He's guarded by Billups. Back to Chandler. And here's Barea. Here's Stevenson. 4 on the shot clock. Here's Nowitzki. And the go-ahead bucket, no good. You know, Clark, Dirk Nowitzki upped his field goal percentage, his three-point percentage, and his switch here. Jeffries is checked in. Here is Barea. Barea.
He stood his ground, and absorbed the contact.
And here are the Knicks. And now our sideline reporter, Doris Burke, has some info for us. Doris, take it away.
Well, guys, as you know, the Dallas Mavericks are one of the older teams in the entire NBA. Jason Kidd said, "We understand what it takes to win. When you have a veteran ball club, you might be older, people think you might be slower, but you have to use your wisdom and knowledge to win ball games, and that's where we feel we have a huge advantage." And with Kidd bringing it up, guys, the basketball IQ is never a question. Kevin?
Not at all. Thanks, Doris. But for Dirk, it had to be frustrating. He played well in the first round, but couldn't get them past the Spurs.
Well, he didn't have much help, but at least he didn't have the help that he needed to beat a good team like San Antonio.
2 minutes remaining in the first.
And unable there to get the go-ahead bucket. And so here is New York. They've only given up 6 here in this quarter. Phillips kicks to Anthony. Oh! And he dunks that one in.
When he gets it going like this, you got to double team him. That's your only hope.
The Mavericks trailing. Well, the New York Knicks not exactly dominant on the road a season ago, 11-30, Clark.
Yeah.
Jason Terry.
Here's Billups. No points for him. Guarded now by Jason Terry.
No.
Dropped in on the layup.
Way to distribute the basketball.
Here's Kidd. Trailing by 4.
Right there.
He's guarded by Billups. Kidd kicks to Haywood. Chandler guarded by Stoudemire. Kidd connects from in close. Kidd's got his second bucket of the night.
That's too easy. The D's got to get to him about 8 feet further out.
Anthony, the pass to Stoudemire. Anthony. And stolen by Butler.
It's been a tough quarter right now. They can't seem to get into any kind of rhythm or flow. They just keep giving the ball away.
Yeah, just much too sloppy play so far. A foul called, and he earns a trip to the line. No good on the free throw. And the second free throw, good. Here is Billups. 43 seconds left in the second.
Hey, get on Billups!
Terry gets the whistle for blocking.
One of guys at this level. He tried his best, but still got hit with the foul.
The steal.
The lob was a little misjudged, and he couldn't get control of it.
And here's Haywood. 6 points for him.
Shoot it!
Outside Butler. And 2 free throws coming up as the whistle blows. He barely missed that one.
Jared Jeffries.
Tough interior defense means not allowing easy baskets. Good foul.
He hits one and misses one, each at the line. Here comes Carmelo Anthony. He's got 11.
Come to me. I got it. Come to me. No. Watch outside. Ball. No.
4 seconds left. Here's Jeffries. It's home.